What's up, YouTube? It's me, Super Mario DJ here. We're back to another live stream. We are indeed live, and welcome back to Doki Literature Club Plus. DDLC Plus is back again, everybody. And of course, kind of continuing that like mini tradition. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. Sometimes having a reflection on things is wise. Doki Literature Club Plus, DDLC Plus, episode 27, number 27. Welcome back, guys, to Doki Literature Club Plus. DDLC Plus is back again, and it's time we dived into the game for more psychological horror fun. Last time, we did it. We completed Sayori's route in Act 1, and thus completed all major routes and choices for the path to the good ending. Things are still set to play out as they usually do, but we're going to continue to do our best, we're going to do our best to continue being good. However, it's time to step back as it's time for the next side story. Today, we begin reading the Reflection side story, and for the first time, or for the first DLC Plus stream of 2025, that feels fitting. With all the members here at the club, the only question is, what are we reflecting upon? What conflicts await us today? Seems like Yuri and Monica have some chatting to do, so let's hope they can work it out. What lesson do these girls have to learn today? Only one way to find out. If you're excited and ready for more DDLC Plus on the channel today, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Obviously, you have our intro music, My Song, Your Note, and here is the DDLC Plus website, which you can also find in the description. And, yes, we've looked at all of this beforehand. But, we're back with everyone's favorite characters of Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. And, yeah. So, we're back again, everybody. The website, and obviously the Steam page, Which it seems like, I don't know if, I'm hoping Steam, I don't know, I opened the Steam page, and it looked like it loaded, but didn't load, because I can't, like, scroll through a screenshot like I usually do. But here's obviously the Steam page for you to get the game for yourself, which you can find, again, linked in the description down below. So, that was pretty much done. I meant to let it finish, but then I misclicked. I was trying to click back to the tab, and then I was again the website, Steam page, and of course the music, which again can all be found in the description down below. Apologies that this is a bit of a later stream. I didn't want to get to the stream today, and I almost thought it was gonna have to be postponed and not happen on Valentine's Day like the previous couple. But I was able to still get this done. I just had to obviously have it happen a lot later in the evening for me. But we're still getting it done, so. But yeah. Anyways, obviously, we will also look at the DLC Plus playlist for a minute to see how long we've been doing this. But before we do that, I also just want to make sure I get Steam open. So we are ready to hop into the game. But yes, we are back doing the next episode of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus on the channel. Obviously, here on February 14th, Valentine's Day, we started this with horror stories, playing DDLC on Valentine's Day. And Steam did open. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to minimize you. Or I'll open it. So we started playing Doki Doki on Valentine's Day yearly with the horror story episode, which was part of our first playthrough. Then we came back to start up our main second playthrough on Valentine's Day. So this stream is going to be officially a year old today. And here we are again with the next episode happening, you guessed it, on Valentine's Day. So here we go. But yeah, obviously we've been doing a lot of this game. We've been doing obviously the main game. We read through our first couple side stories in our very first playthrough. We beat the game. I also have the Switch port, so there are a couple Switch port related videos here. I did a speedrun episode, another Switch related clip. Then we did my two big Act 2 streams. And then again, we've been doing our big second run with all the different routes of Natsuki, Yuri, Sayori, and obviously getting to some of the newer side stories like Balance and Respect, and now Reflection. So, that being said, let's get to it. So, yeah. Hope you guys like thumbnail. It's the usual setup for these side story thumbnails. Always, almost in the same fashion, but, slightly different every time. Hope you guys like the thumbnail. Anyways, obviously 10 likes for more. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Make sure it doesn't overlap with my camera as it turns on. Hello, everybody. And, yeah, let's get back to the game. Not beating around the bush, because obviously, A, it's a little bit of a later stream, and B, I still have to release the annual plush special in a few hours from now. So, trying to do the stream, that's probably going to take about an hour or so, have some dinner for myself, and then release the plush special. So, stay tuned for the second upload of the day after the stream, sometime later after the stream. Anyways, let's get into the game. And again, here we are. Last played January, because I think I got thumbnail materials, so I was going to maybe do this episode in January, and then there would have been a separate episode today on Valentine's Day. But no, we are starting the very first DLC episode of the year on Valentine's Day. And again, we are 40.3 hours into the game. We have 16 of 19 achievements, and yeah, we're getting there. And I think we have 90 data in-game, whatever the percentage is. We're going to double check that as we hop into the game. But yeah, that being said, let's just get started, because we had a lot of reading to do. Good thing I have a lot of water with me. But yeah, hope everyone is having a lovely Valentine's Day, February 14th. Hope you're sharing it with all your loved ones and your others, other people you care about. I know I have been with some things I had to take care of today, but yeah, now we're gonna do the DLC stream and then release the plush special later this evening, and it's gonna have been a fun, decently, big busy day for February the 14th for me today, but it's fine. Nothing usual, nothing unusual. I meant, but I'm just rambling because we're waiting for the game to load. But anyways, let's just hop into this. So, I will say, just because it happened a lot earlier yesterday, because this was happening a lot later. If you haven't seen yesterday's early stream, I streamed Boris the Dark Survival Part 4, and we have gotten very close to getting the game's ending, or we are like on the tip of getting the game's ending practically, basically. So go check out that other stream. Just wanted to shout that out because it happened a lot earlier in the day than I usually stream. Well, I sometimes stream around 1 or 2 occasionally, but it was sudden. No one was expecting it unless you checked the playlist updated like the night before. Yeah. Anyways, DDLC should be opening, so we can hop into the game. I'm not going to double click it because I don't need 2 copies open. But we should be able to be good. I'm also going to keep an eye on OBS because at the end of the last stream, it immediately disconnected as I was ending the stream. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that. Okay, I think it's opening now, so that's good. But yeah, welcome back to the world of Doki Doki Literature Club. It's gonna be a fun one because I do like these side stories. They usually have a lot of, impactful, powerful messages to take away, and I always like analyzing the poems if they have poems in the side stories. So there's a lot of usually good stuff with the side story content. So I'm looking forward to reading the next one. And I will say, I'm going to show it off when we get to the in-game. There is another side story that we obviously have after this one to do, and I admitted to myself before we started the stream, I'm like, oh, the other side story would have been probably very fitting for today, but we have this one to do first. I want to do these in order. I'm not going to skip around. I'm going to play the game roughly in order as I've been doing it. So let's just hop into the game now with the lovely metaverse. Enterprise Solutions loading screen and get into our virtual desktop. So yeah, here we go. Game is starting up. Alright, we're taking another minute to load. Just gonna wait. But yeah, it's gonna I'm sure, and it's definitely good to be back with Doki Doki, because obviously we ended last year on a big note for the game, which was completing the Sayori route, and like I said, now we have to go into Act 2 when we get to the next episode of this one. And I honestly, the thing is with going back into Act 2, I don't fully know how much content there is left to do because of the 2 streams dedicated to secret ending stuff and whatnot, and where the game more kind of just sort of just puts you on a set path for Act 2. You can't like go down one route or another. There's like set choices that just happen in Act 2. So I feel like there may be a slim chance that I have already technically seen all of Act 2's content between the 2 secret streams post my first ending completion and like obviously my main 3 first ever Act 2 streams. We will have to wait and see though when we get back to the next stream. So stay tuned. We're going to find out how much Act 2 content we have left to play next time. Anyways. Just got to log into the game. There we go, root. Okay, logging in. Here we go. Okay, why did the game crash? The game should not have crashed. That is unusual. DDLC does not usually crash. That is very strange. Let's try that again. That should not have crashed. I'll fix game capture again when the game opens. That was weird. There we go. Let's just hope it doesn't crash again. There we go. Okay, game capture sorted, and I'm just gonna let the game load. Okay, that's loading a lot quicker. There we go. Okay. Well, that was weird. Anyways. There we go. Hey, there we are. We're back with this. That's what our in-game desktop is set to. Oh, wait, no, we weren't at 90. We were close to 90%. That's right. We were literally like one away. But yeah, we have this CG now, and this is like my background for right now. I also want to briefly talk about the intro music for a minute, because I wanted to try and find. There's a piano cover that we get from one of the side stories for My Song Your Note. But I was like finding like actual video, like people playing, you know, the DDLC tracks on piano. I'm like, that's not what I need. So I said, I guess we're just gonna do regular My Song Your Note. But yeah, again, just looking at everything, we are, like I said, we are close to having mostly everything unlocked. If we keep looking down this path, we only have like one promo missing. We have 3 sketches. You know, 1 background, you know, a couple CGs. I think 1 poem is missing, and we're missing 1 wallpaper. And we haven't gotten any new mail yet. I know last time we played the game, I had unlocked 1 randomly, like, before the stream even started. And again, we did everything with the files, so we're not gonna be doing that. But yeah, I'm just gonna let this play for a minute because it's a shorter track. I did not mean to change it. Okay, we're done with the music then. I did not mean to actually change it. I hate when I misclick and things. But yeah, here we are, back for whatever. And yes, here's, like I said, here's the one that would have been very fitting for Valentine's Day today, self-love. But again, we have a reflection to do first. So it's time we hop into the reflection story and get on with what the story has to offer us. So, without further ado, and where's my map? Okay, my map. I swear I clicked on it. Without further ado, let us begin the side story. Here we go. Can we go to this side story? Back in the club room. Here we go. Starting out with Monica. I'm gonna replug my mouse. I just right-clicked once to remove the box for a second, and it did like twice. Like it duplicated like my input. So let me just fix that real quick. Not my mouse striking back again. Anyone remember? I think it was my original episode. Whatever my original episode was where I did the Natsuki route first. For my first time that stream. Here we go. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, I was just checking. It's hard to tell since you're always looking. Okay, it's just hard to tell since you're always looking so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be in. Yeah, it's in my expectations to be interrupted when I'm reading here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense, I guess. If you're here in the first place, then then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work. So it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or if there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch a piece of cookie that Natsuki is lobbing in the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookies. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose that worked out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had a chance to talk one-on-one, have we? Though I may have that, but that may be particularly my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging the club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing my minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness of engagement. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh, but I like it that way. I feel nice to be carried off again after a morning class. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There's still 2 more books after this one. I guess these long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I read anything with depth and maturity. Oh, really? Even like romance? Oh, romance, hey, that works for Valentine's Day. I'm making a joke, but yeah. Well, there's a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I wouldn't tell anyone if you do too. Yuri's expression. Give me a screenshot, please. Hoping I screenshot of that. Yuri's pondering. I hope I screenshot of that. I don't want to press F12 too many times, but I'm sure I tried pressing F12. Press it one more time. That's it. Anyways, maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely. People were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it's just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. Ah, sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressuring you, like pressuring you. I like that for things in my past too, you know, things I feel embarrassed or to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growth out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. What's with my input delay? Oh, there. Like, why is there input delay? Hey, hey, were you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple of years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh, really? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into one series that I really related to. And I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and I wanted to be by myself, Hey, kinda like you, Yuri. Monica. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they help you a lot through hard times. You know it. Wow, what the heck is that? Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stack up the whole series? Sugi estimates by holding her hand above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long, so I can say I've read more than you. Not that I had the money for it. Please, it would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is gonna lead into the next side story. They're gonna set up elements in this one for the next story. Man, I know, I was just... well, that went a lot better than I expected. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read like you. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring? Chill, I said for me, not for you. Can I have my own opinions? I just think it's too convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? Oh, Sayori. I can't wait to get to the actual good ending, because I gotta go into Act 2 and 3 without you. You're a silly goofball. Gross. I also wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Fine. Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look upset, a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me, so how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me about the things you... needlessly telling me that the things you hate about it. I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what you like and don't like, what they like and don't like, especially in the literature club. So I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. That then. Either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Well, already off to an interesting start. Monica and Yuri were having a conversation to start things off. And it led to Natsuki joining the conversation, Sayori briefly showing up, the screen going black for a lot longer than I expected, and... Okay, hello? Is this a new track? It sounds different. Take a swig of my water. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we all get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Are you being like a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect. Not reflection yet, but reflect. We're getting there. On the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we can all have differences in opinions a lot, so I need to make sure we are prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want other people to feel when I'm butchering words. Receiving our thoughts. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversations, basically everything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with like snacks, or do you mean like full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh geez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? Oh, that's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Wow, that was a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how someone could think cherries are nasty. How does that make you feel? I don't know. Sad. Do I look sad? Sad face? Definitely, maybe. Or defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason we have strong reactions wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Some things like taste is completely subjective. When I say something like I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Sayori, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So what if I said I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. You got me there, Sayori. Oh, that screenshot, the other screenshot I took probably didn't take. Oh well, I'll get it next time. Okay, so cherries were kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time, instead of talking about cherries, I'll be talking about my feelings, and I just talked about my feelings and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or something. I know that. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I feel like I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protest someone's feelings. Or protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help you turn your differences into positive experiences rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater. I love Sayori. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help the demonstration. What the heck? I've been duped. More quotable Sayori moments today. I'm so sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to be duped. You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. I'm just screenshotting Sayori quotes at this point. Oh my goodness. Buying your people's loyalty. How deployable. Oh, look. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. That was, I was reading and not keeping track of them. Okay, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? I don't know if manga is the way to go, but yeah, like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive conversation about our differences and opinions. Yuri, would you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. Oh, how come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from this. It's just gonna start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, let's give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable just to speak your mind. Respectable. Yuri's expression changes at the word. As Monica recalled, being respectable was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever you like, whatever it is you like. I just prefer more in-depth and nurtured something in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that was just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were gonna say mangas for like children or something. Like, I don't hear that enough. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life and I would prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on, can I jump in here for a second? Let's try and keep things subjective. Because if you're implying that manga is immature, then you aren't implying someone... Then, aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and yours fantasy. I love both of them in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just gonna make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care about what other people think. But I always get the impression that you secretly look down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for like being myself and trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interests immature. You can't. Please stop. Please. Don't mean the things that you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. It didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So, please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Your piercing words sent the classroom into a choke silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must have been pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so I was just saying, how did this happen? It was my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. I was really stupid. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club room is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we are sensitive about the things that we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not to over sugarcoat things. It's about recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or saying anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem is her, not just the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you give her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone else should. You'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just, saying that instantly. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over this. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally comes out. Because I can just move on now. But, it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our minds off of this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worrying about feeding Yuri's superiority X complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean about my friends, okay? sorry. I'm just a little bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I can at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is giving it away by how much she has to force the reassurance tone in her voice. This was bound to happen. Eventually, Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other, at least out of everyone. And this is the reason. As for Sayori and Natsuki, proceed to the distance themselves with manga. Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows how Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. And that, I'm assuming, wraps up part 1. Yep. Okay. A lot to unpack there, and we got mail, side story part 2, and music. Okay, we're gonna look at that in a second. I'm gonna plug the laptop in. Hold on just a second, fellas. Alright, so let me plug the laptop in. I have a swig of my water. Also, let me just see. Almost 50 minutes in the stream. I might take my quick stream break now, and then we're just gonna read through the rest of the side story after I get back from the break, and then we'll see where the stream's at. Because I'm giving the game a second to load since I plugged my laptop in. But we have a lot of stuff we unlock. I hope we shot up a little bit into the 90% range so I can see how close we are. But yeah, while everything is responding, there obviously have been the uses of reflecting a couple times in the story so far, and we're gonna get to the big, like, they're gonna say the title. They've always said the title at some point in the story, and they also had to use understanding. So I'm like, understanding, but and they also said like kind of respectful, but like the previous story was respect, so not respectful, but still in that range, but. The story obviously is going in a pretty interesting direction, because obviously we're heading towards having a now conflict. Well, I said it like or I don't know how many minutes ago, live wise, but like there was like one of the earlier reactions in the part 1 story with Natsuki and Yuri. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're gonna set the conflict for the next side story. But I think we already still technically have set up that conflict because of where we are in part 1 of Reflection. But honestly, we are heading towards obviously the conclusion of Reflection, but also we're gonna still have that story element set up for self-love for Natsuki and Yuri. So we'll end up finding out how that plays out when we get to that side story. But I think we're getting into some interesting territory, and I know there's a point where I just constantly screenshotting, because there were a lot of just silly quotable moments with Sayori, and I had to get it. I just had to screenshot them because they were funny. But I understand where the story's going. Again, they're having like the whole, because again, this story is about Yuri and Monica, mainly like the main 2 focus with everyone else involved. And obviously we're setting up Monica was trying to like just have a chat with Yuri, which evolved into Monica trying to have like a discussion with everyone in the club, which led to like in the argument, another argument with Yuri and Natsuki, and Yuri walking off, and Monica being like, "Well, I guess I couldn't have helped with the problem like I should have," and bada bing, bada boom. So yeah, okay. I'm trying to tab back into OBS for a minute. Why won't you let me tab back into OBS? Okay, hopefully not. But I think OBS might have just crashed. So if the stream starts buffering in a second, it might because OBS had just briefly crashed. So I am probably going to be taking my break in a second, and I'll get OBS back up, and we will come back and see what we unlocked, and then get to part 2 in a minute. So I will be right back if the stream does disconnect for a second. I'm going to see if I can fix it, but it's not responding to me. So I think OBS is crashing. No, I don't want you to shut down. Can I open? You're gonna let me open OBS? Wonderful tech issues. Alright. Doesn't look like we had disconnected yet. So I'm hoping I can switch over to the break screen for a minute. But again, there is that slim possibility that if I cut out at any moment, because OBS crashed on me. Alright, sorry about that. I'm still gonna go and put you guys on the other screen for just another minute, just so I can actually have this like a kind of a proper break for like the stream when it like fixes itself after the tech issues. But OBS did crash, and then my Wi-Fi crashed, so I had a double crash, and then I got the stream fixed. So give me another minute to get back into everything, and then we're gonna check out all the new files and read part 2. See you in a minute. Alright, let's get back into this in a minute. I'm just making sure everything was good on the studio side of things. And then we're going to hop back in and find out what new things we unlocked so we can read the rest of the side story. So, apologies for the technical difficulties that transpired in this stream. Even if you're watching this after it was fixed, after, you know, YouTube usually processes the stream and whatnot. Anywho, studio seems to look like it's still behind by obviously a little bit, but I think we're still healthy. So, I'll come back to that. Let's find out what we unlock. So, obviously, side story. Back to the game. We have part 2. We have part 2 unlocked. When it loads. DDLC, I do not need you to crash me for a second time after the technical I just went through. There we go, part 2 is unlocked, so we're going to read that in a second. Obviously, we have mail, which I'm going to do last. We have music. What did we get? I did say, did we get a new song? So that might be what one of these tracks might be new. So there. Let's teamwork. Alright, so let's teamwork. Yeah, that's the one I'm like, huh, is this new? I don't feel like I've heard this. Let's teamwork, that's what it is. And we have mail, but I want to see, percentage-wise, where did we get up to? Where are we at? 91, we are in the home stretch. And mail, what do we have now? Row Tether. Binary data in VM2. December 12th, 2019. So yeah, Row Tether, unnamed mail group. Yeah. I've made some new headway with VM2. Don't get too excited. It seems impossible to establish any kind of stable connection, but it occurs to me that I could at least run a memory dump through some patterns, analyze routines to see if we could decipher any digital data from their VM. I didn't want to hog all the server time on a hunch, but I have some preliminary results that indicate the presence of binary computer systems. Based on this, I'm going to schedule 3 days of server time next week to isolate a chunk of memory. Isolate any chunks of memory that appear to be binary. If successful, we'll definitely be able to find some encoded text and get our first tiny glimpses of VM2. Don't mind me though. Just keep going nuts on VM1 and hopefully I'll have more to share soon. Interesting. Binary code in VM2. They've been talking about the VM1 and VM2 for the longest time now, and like I think the one secret file we got to read, and probably in the other secret files we haven't unlocked yet, and throughout the mail. So this is interesting. Anyways, to get back on track, we have part 2 of the reflection story to read, and reiterate from the little tech issue break. So we were last leaving off with Monica feeling like stuck in a place where she was trying to help out Yuri with some, discussional problems that her and Natsuki were having, and just wanted to, have a broader conversation with the club. But that led to more problems. Yuri left the club room, and walked out of the room, and leaving a lot of high tension in the air. And a lot of, reflect was used a couple times. We're going to get to probably the big use of reflections here soon. So let's see the solution Monica doesn't have at the end of part 1 come to, fruition in this part. Let's go. Gotta get back on track. Hopefully I can get this done, the next, probably 30 minutes, hopefully. Oh, brother. Anywho. Because I need to eat, and then I gotta get ready to post the Valentine's Flush video. So this tech issue delay really kind of set me off course with the stream being later than I had initially planned to. Anyways, back to the story. A new day arrives. Tomorrow's another day. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Sayori arrives at the club room earlier than usual, this time not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. So she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayori had made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Ah, too fast. Stupid game glitched on me. My heart feels vacant because a ship has sailed away. Yo, that's okay. And so he pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, but it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't just say anything. I doubt you were listening in. I doubt you want me to listen in on your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I just let you finish that then? Oh no, that would. Oh no, it wouldn't. I mean, you just do whatever is convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri's too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so. Oh. Geez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. You can maybe distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. It's just I want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's just so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't even matter anyways. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. Oh, it's okay to have feelings. It doesn't mean you're weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try and come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. I was happy the way things were before we had to have a conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about your manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time. I just brush it off and ignore them. But sometimes about it really gets to me at this time, and I hate it. I hate that I'm letting it happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me just because she pretends to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me or manga or whatever. Barry acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's books a chance? Ha, after this? Absolutely not. What about before this? Well, I would up until I get bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without needing to be needlessly complicated. I see. But I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sora shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, I really like. It's really honest and fun and easy to just go with it. And fantasy has a lot more interpretation and uncovers, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and fantasy are true to themselves. So they love them both. So I love them both. And I think there's a room for both of them to be in the same club room together. And I just feel like maybe, they'll have more in common than you would like to think. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like first with Monica, when I was new to the club, and it was like, it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm like, oh, it's the person that's being such a jerk. And if I realized that, then we could at least get along. But then nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that the reality that everyone just has to be a jerk to me because nobody likes me, and I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Sari puts her comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know, and sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kind of communication, and it feels like you can magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or even get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggled a lot with too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot, like reflection and self-awareness. Like reflection and self-awareness. There's the title. And vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. Always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, sounds kind of stupid, but I'm used to people being mean to me, like my friends and I guess my dad. When I don't get good grades or in stupid things, like if my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then I'm just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. I feel like if something goes wrong, there's even a tiny hint that it might have been my fault, then I just get really angry and find a way to blame everyone else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No, our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. That's the part of vulnerability, you know, accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that my feelings make me a bad person, because my feelings just want me to want to tell me that I'm so much better than her, that she's judgmental, know-it-all, who's stuck up in her edgy phase, and that I'm just above. I'm just above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings, but you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same household and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can't ignore each other, most of the time you're gonna run into each other every now and then, and it's gonna make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You gotta communicate and learn from each other, maybe help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just had a roommate that I can really get along. I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with. Called depression. Depression. But you're like the happiest person I know. I'm not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. Ah, you're a little sweetheart. We're all good people. You, Yuri, and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayori's kind reassurance and complex mixture of pain and sadness seeming to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it's as if it wasn't as I thought. She was inflicting a wound after being vulnerable. It was as though she had begun to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. We're getting places with the story. Sayori's talking to Natsuki. Monika's gonna probably talk to Yuri, and we're gonna get that like closure for reflection here. As soon as we're not in blank. Oh, I really hope we can get through the remainder of the stream in like the next 20 minutes, because I gotta go eat. I don't normally stream this late, but I had to stream this late today, and I could have postponed the stream, but I did want to get a DDLC stream out this Friday. So, we're doing it now. Even with the major tech issues. The major tech issues didn't help either. That didn't help, and my laptop's probably contributing to some of these tech issues. So, I know it's probably going to have to update itself later, or just have to go through a nice cleanup. Anyways. We should be back in the game any second. There we go. I think this might be one of our new backgrounds, the stairwell. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not gonna yell at you. I was just waiting. I wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. That was unfair of me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess that's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me. I thought you were the one who were mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation about saying something that wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a moment, then manages to nod. And Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I have a lot of negative thoughts and patterns that I can't get away from me. What kind of negative thoughts, patterns? Like everyone hates me, especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she found herself in an altercation with Natsuki. That feels wrong, typing wise. She found herself in an altercation. I don't know why herself is here twice. As a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own thoughts and feelings as well. I just think Natsuki is naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels a need to protect herself. But, you know, she really is not a bad person. In fact, I think she could really be thoughtful and considerate. She's just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she can feel comfortable returning it. Oh, but that means that the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think everyone would be like this if you had a chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, that's the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. because everyone used to think I was weird and talked about me behind my back. That's just what happened when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and that she hated me anyways. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. Whoops, too far. We can skip the line. I just... I was wondering if you had an opinion on her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. Like, I think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person, for someone to treat me like I'm an inferior, despite my taste, is the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think the bad things about her. And everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong. Again. My feelings about her are all wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsiderate. No, Yuri. Your feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that you don't always have control over. That doesn't mean you have to control us. That doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I've learned around when I first started the club. We hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through your feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. Also, teamwork was dropped, the new track we just got. Funny. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature and so good with people. I feel like I'm such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. But these things are learned skills. They didn't come to me naturally either. And it's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person for it to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of things that meant so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it feels like to be misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defensive mechanism. We're all just people. We're fragmented and unstable. And I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it if the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't force out your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? You can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club could be a happy place for everyone. Manga looks at Yuri in a bit of admiration. Yeah, admiration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me, because I really want to hug you right now. Sorry, I didn't mean it to make you uncomfortable. No, well, if you want to, then I wouldn't really mind. So Monica slightly puts Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle. And I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see this side of you. That side of you, and I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm gonna write her a letter. Oh, a letter? Well, that's a good idea. Just because I'm not really good at talking, especially under pressure, I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say the most important things, and I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way of communication. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suitable for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendship doesn't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposites in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she put a lot of effort, so much effort into understanding me, so we can get along. I think it was the same with you. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody like that I'm not. There is a type of person or magical formula I had to follow in order to make someone like me, and that's like me to think that always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person, when you offer your time and effort to understand them and respect them and trust that they also want to be a good person. That was like 3 of the side stories all roll up into one sentence. Crazy. That I want to learn through my observation of the lecture club. Observation? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri had always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talk about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to her. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I've learned a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it, but in the past few weeks, Yuri has always seemed to be especially attentive when it comes to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn about her friends in the Lit Club. It's true, Sayori and Monica are naturally more comfortable with each other and they can make more easily work through situations of conflicts, but it doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and they're capable of improving. And the capability of improving. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. There's the title again. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. Alright, it's loading. Alright, is the story done, or is there a little more? I don't think we got a CG for this story yet. There's gotta be a little more. A very shy girl with long purple hair is wandering bustling lunchtime hallways, her fist pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president classroom, she stands at the doorway, glaring all around her before peering in. No! Why did the game crash? Why did the game crash? No! You can't do this to me. Oh my goodness. Why did the game crash? Oh, brother. Okay, this stream has been very messy, and I don't know why the game just crashed while the story was still going. I don't think we were done with part 2, but I think for the sake of this stream, because it's been such a mess, there's got to be a, 27.5, or just, I'm gonna, just need to do a finishing the side story of Reflection, because we clearly have been having tech issues, and I need to get on with having some dinner. So, man, this sucks. I don't know why suddenly, I know I'm streaming later than I usually am, and I've had random spikes and technical issues, but this shouldn't have really messed up the stream this badly. So, for now, I guess I'm gonna wrap up the stream. This is a very sour note to end on, but we've had a lot of tech issues. I don't want to unlist this episode. But there have just been a lot of tech issues and whatnot, so I'm gonna have to just wrap things up here. Stay tuned for the... I'm gonna see if I can squeeze another stream in over the weekend. I need to finish this over the weekend. Says I'm not leaving this open-ended. I'll make a community post tomorrow, because I gotta release the plush video. But I'll make a community post tomorrow talking about tonight and explaining all the tech issues that went on. And I'm gonna explain that I'm gonna be finishing up. I might even just do a reread of, like, at least the part 2 section. I might reread the part 2 section. Well, 41.2 hours in this stream. I have all my funny Sayori. I got the Yuri thing. It just didn't register the sound effect. So I got my screenshots. I could just I might slap one of these. Maybe I'll slap the one with Yuri and Monica. I might just make this a temp thumbnail for, like, the placeholder finishing the story stream. But I will be back over the weekend to finish the story, because this stream has been a mess. I apologize for the messy nature, and I know having a odd episode number is going to be weird, but we technically are on episode 27, but we have 30 videos, so this series is all over the place because of some extra content involved. So what's one extra mini stream to fix all this tech issue away? So with that being said, I'm gonna end things here. If you have enjoyed, do leave a like, comment, subscribe, very much appreciated. Hit the bell to be notified when I come back to do more Doki Doki Plus on the channel. I'll hopefully be back soon this weekend to finish what happened today. I know I could have postponed the stream, but I still did it anyways. And yes, we had tech issues, but am I still enjoying DDLC despite my tech issues and the not finishing the story today? Yes, we're having fun. We unlocked some stuff. I will fix this in the next stream, and I'm just not gonna push my computer anymore tonight. I will be uploading the plush video on my other laptop in a few hours from now, so stay tuned. Definitely watch it. I know the plush video isn't everyone's cup of tea, but tonight's plush video is kind of special to me, and you definitely don't want to miss out on it. So, that being said, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you on the flip side. Happy Valentine's Day. I didn't say that at the top of the stream. Happy Valentine's Day. And this has been a little rocky ride, but we're gonna finish this. I'm not leaving that story unfinished. I'll be back soon for something else. I need to go just eat something, refresh my mind, and get this in a better state for next time. I'll probably also make sure my laptop's fine too. See you soon for something else. It's after time, and I'll be back soon for something else.